I'm going to put these, I'm going to talk about my overall thoughts on Crooked Kingdom. I have finished reading it last week, and I think I'm going to pop this in the front of the vlog actually, just because they're definitely spoiler free, just in case anyone pops on and is interested in some spoiler free thoughts. So yeah, I'll throw this into the front of the vlog. So I just wanted to say about Crooked Kingdom that it like truly is like a really incredible book. It's there are really like very few books that I would say even compete with it at all. The plot is constantly in motion and is like really complex. There's also in-depth additions to characters' backstories, and the author continually develops relationships and friendships throughout the book. Um, Crooked Kingdom is so well written. The dialogue is incredible. And I mean, like, what other book do you know that can pull off 6 points of view? 6 points of view. Each character has their own point of view, and it's done well. You're never like confused. And while like in Six of Crows, you definitely felt like certain characters like were on the back burner and were not really um given as much like airtime, if you know what I mean. But you can't say that about Crooked Kingdom. In Crooked Kingdom, everyone has character development. Everyone has really good dialogue. Everyone has like an important part to play. And I don't really feel like any of the 6 were left out of that, or needed more, could have used more chapters. Like, I felt like they were all done really well. And like, yeah, I've never come across a book. Sometimes I come across a book that can't do 2 points of view well. So yeah, this is easily one of the best books I've ever read. It's something, this duology is something that oh my God, literally a bug just landed on my face. Okay. The duology is definitely something that I am going to reread over and over again, and I'm probably going to tab it, annotate it, and recommend the crazy hell out of it. So, this definitely makes Leigh Bardugo an auto-buy author for me now. I really want to go back and read the Shadow and Bone series, even though a lot of people really disliked it. But I just feel like I need to know everything about the Grishaverse, and I just want to read it all. I'll be reading King of Scars too, but I'll read the Shadow and Bone first. And yeah, then of course, super excited for the Netflix series to come out. I'm gonna read, I've just gone through and tabbed some like really good quotes. And actually, you know what? I'm gonna put that in the spoiler section, because I think some of them are from like the very end of the book, and I think they are spoilers. So yeah, if you're watching this, everything after this clip is going to be huge spoilers. I could say anything and I'll give everything away. So hello and welcome to a Crooked Kingdom reading vlog, video diary, whatever. So I actually started last night, but I slept over at my parents' house, so vlogging in front of other people is awkward for me. So I just didn't bother. But if anyone remembers, at the end of Six of Crows, I read Six of Crows in February, I think. So I don't like remember exactly, but like I'm not gonna reread it. I know that Inej was taken at the end. She was kidnapped. So Also, they didn't get their money. But they want the kid that they brought back from like the heist. Sorry, the bad guy wants him. And Nina changed how Wylan looked, so now he looks like that kid. I think that's what happened. So I'm buddy reading this with my friend Talia. Her channel is Bookish Paradise, but she is on hiatus. She hasn't posted anything in a long time. But we're still friends. We still talk, and yeah. So we're meant to read a part a day because the book is sectioned into parts, and then the parts are sectioned into chapters. So last night I read the first part, and I remember this from Six of Crows too. The very first chapter of the book is some like non-character, and it seems like completely random, and I think it's just supposed to give you like let you know like what's going on, but instead you're just confused. I don't know. I really just don't like it. So yeah, that first chapter, whatever. and then we have Kaz and the team, and they break into this guy's house and go through his documents because they're trying to find records of property holdings of the guy that took Inej and the people that are related to him to see if they can try to figure out where he's keeping Inej. Obviously, so that they can rescue her. And then we go to Inej, and she, in her chapter, she tries to escape, and you're like, it seemed like she was doing a pretty good job, and then nope. Like, I really thought, I was like, wow, like, she's just gonna escape, and then what's the rest of the book gonna be about? But no, don't worry, she didn't escape. Like, she got caught, and they're just asking her where Kaz is keeping the scientist's son or whatever, and like, how is she supposed to know? It's not like they like established their hideout. They basically went right to meeting them, and I don't know. So I don't think that she actually knows where Kaz is staying and where he's hiding that guy that they want. Oh my god, I'm sorry. I'll remember names some other time. Fuck. This is just me, guys, okay? I forget names like almost instantly in books, I swear. But yeah, they are threatening to not just break Inej's legs, but shatter them. So that's nice of them. Yeah, and so then I'm just gonna start the next part right now. I'm super exhausted. I have a lot going on in my personal life right now. My daughter is 5 years old and she's starting kindergarten tomorrow. Oops, and someone's just woken up and coming to see me, so I'll update later. Bye. Hey y'all, it's Tuesday afternoon, and last night I got cut off as I was updating because Oceana woke up and she was just crawling into bed with me. Usually I get both girls doing that almost every night. Great for me. But I did still read. I read about 45 pages, which didn't get me to the end of part 2, but you know, it's whatever. Yesterday I filmed my August wrap up and September TBR videos. And so the getting ready, preparing, and actually filming of that took me close to 2 hours. So that's where most of my time went. So unfortunately I didn't get my part read what I wanted to read, but I still talked to Talia today about what I did read, and so we were wrong at the beginning of the book when Kaz, he goes, and what I talked about in the last time about how they break into this guy's house to look for, you know, properties where they might be keeping Inej. That's not what he was looking for. So apparently this Van Eck guy who has Inej was making it really obvious where he was keeping her, because he was hoping that Kaz would come there and he would like ambush him. And so what Kaz was looking for was where he was possibly keeping, where Van Eck was possibly keeping his wife. And so instead of going after Inej, Kaz and the gang kidnap Van Eck's wife, who is pregnant. And it was so awesome. It was actually super comical too, because they have her when she's kidnapped on this island where they're staying, and at first they can't get her to stop crying, and then they can't get her to stop singing, and it was just really funny, like comic relief. Also, like, we're getting some more some viewpoint from Nina, who is still like dealing with her addiction from the Param, from what happened at the end of the last book. And I thought that was really like great to have addiction rep in a book. I don't think I've read addiction rep in a book. Maybe my tastes just need to be a little bit more diverse, but it was it was just something to have it in there. And but I'm like low-key worried about her, because it looks like she doesn't really have her powers anymore. Like, she's, I don't know, when they went to go kidnap the lady, she was like trying so hard to use her powers, and it like didn't work. And so they just ended up like knocking people out on their head, like hitting them on the head, instead of her using her powers to like make them pass out. So that's like concerning. And then we also have Jesper's dad, who, like, that was a whole trap that they didn't really figure out that it was a trap until afterwards, but it was okay. But I'm like worried about him just like long term. Nina pointed out when it was her point of view that like Jesper's the only one that like has a family anymore. And so just like Jesper's dad being there in Ketterdam, it's like literally anything could happen. And I just don't like it. But I think he's going to be a key player, like somehow. I don't know. But yeah, so let's see. Let's look. I have my book here. So I have 43. I have about 30 pages. A little less than 30 pages to read, to finish part 2, and then I'm meant to read part 3 today. Oh gosh, and it's a long one. And that's another 100. So, well, maybe. Like, I don't know. The thing was I was going to try to edit my wrap-up and TBR tonight, because it's meant to go up on Friday, and today's Tuesday. So, I mean, either way you look at it, like... And I have an event to go to with my mom tonight. It's like a live viewing of, like, an Amazing Race Canada episode, and then, like, the racers from Saskatchewan are going to be there. So I don't know if like anyone in the world knows what I'm talking about that watches these videos, but yeah, we're going to that. But it's only from 7 to 8, and my time what I usually read is after my kids go to bed, which is after 8, but sometimes usually like not till after 9 p.m. I usually read for like a couple hours before bed. But that's I don't think I'll finish part 3 tonight. That's a stretch. I can try, but we'll see. But yeah, I gotta get going because it was my daughter. Well, I have to pick up my kids from daycare, and it was Oceana's first day of school today, so I have to see. I hope that went well. She's in kindergarten, so yay! All right, well, I'll update maybe tonight before I go to bed, or I don't know. I guess if the book's like falling on my face or something, probably like happens all the time. I'll update tomorrow, I guess. So, yeah, talk to you later. Bye. Okay, just had to back out there. Good morning, Crooked Kingdom vlog. Just like I suspected, I did not get all that reading done last night. I'm 60 pages short of finishing part 3. But wow, part 2 ended with quite a bang, literally. Yeah. That's totally crazy. These people with like metal under their skin and like metal mechanical wings, like that's nutso. And I'm surprised they got away from them. Like that was just nuts. What else happened? Oh my gosh, I'm totally just blanking right now. Oh, like Inej went and did something by herself. Oh my gosh. Oh, I should have not done this over while I'm in the car, because there was like quotes that I was freaking out about last night that I posted. I posted one to my Goodreads and I posted one to my Facebook. Oh my gosh, Kaz and Inej. On Kaz's quote, "I would come for you." But like, I was like, he's showing feelings. What's happening? Oh my gosh. And I'm getting nervous because I'm liking Matthias and Nina like together. I'm glad that she's like found some sort of like a purpose now. They've convinced Kaz to, okay, so they got Inej back, obviously, and they gave the woman, but then it was like a trap, but a bad one. That Van Eck guy like basically got the police to help him. And then there was these, I think they were shoe people, and they blew up some of the buildings, and Nina figured out that they're looking for her. They're looking for Grisha people. And then afterwards, when they were talking about it, they decided that it was probably because, like, after they used the Parem, the drug, the Grisha people die. So whoever's, like, continuing to develop the drug, basically is probably running out of Grisha people to test it on and stuff, because they just keep dying. So then they figure that fabricators, what was the other thing called? It was like a corporal Nick and a fabricator, but then there was something like in between that can do both, maybe? Anyways, they figured that they used certain Grishas to create these people that have metal under their skins, and to create like the wings and stuff before they died, so that they'd have like a, kind of an army of soldiers that didn't die after a couple days. So that's great. But okay, so Kaj's idea is that he's going to, it's really elaborate. He sold his stocks in the club that he owned to the guy that he hates, that had to do with, like, that screwed them over when they were kids. I forget his name. And bought sugar stocks for each of them under aliases, and then also bought sugar stocks in Van Eck's wife's name. So Van Eck owns a bunch of sugar silos, but not all of them. And so their plan is to go and Wyland developed this, like, I don't know what it is. I can't remember what it's called. Some sort of a chemical that's going to make the sugar, like, useless. Basically, it's going to wreck it. It's going to make it gross. But they're in these silos, which silos are like grain silos are like massive, and they're like 20, 30 feet high in the air. And so basically Inej is going to scale one, and then she's going to tightrope walk to each of the other ones, and she's going to dump this stuff inside of 10 different silos. That was Kaz's plan, because then the sugar will, like a third of the country's sugar will be useless, and sugar stocks will go way up in price because they'll be able to sell it for higher, because that's just how things work. And everyone will make a lot of money off of it, and Van Eck will lose money. But then because he bought sugar stocks in someone else's sugar stocks, not Van Eck's sugar stocks, it's gonna look like Van Eck did it himself to try to make money off the market. And so it's gonna totally ruin him. Of course, it's fucking brilliant. But then Nina, with Inej as her backup, she's like, we need to get all the Grisha out of the city because they're in danger. Someone's looking for them. Like, you guys need to help me. We need to get them out. And Kaj was like, fuck no, don't tell me what to do. And then Inej was like, you need me, and I want to do Nina's plan. So that was pretty great. I liked that. Kaz didn't. And yeah, so then that's added to the plan. So they have to get, she said there's probably 30. They have to convince a ship captain with a fake letter, and they're going to do everything all in one night. So let's see how this goes. Obviously some things are going to go wrong. I don't know. I love how it's always such a complicated, elaborate... Yeah. But I love it so much. I love the books. I love Crooked Kingdom. It's so good. Okay, I've been just rambling on for like 10 minutes, so I'm late for work again because Luna threw a fit. I might make it, actually, but depends on how many lights I hit. But, okay, I gotta go, and I will update later. Hey, hello. Today is Thursday. I don't think I updated you yesterday, but that's because I was up until like 1:30 in the morning, trying to catch up to where I'm meant to be in the buddy read. I didn't get there. So I just happen to have an hour right now. And so hopefully that can get me to where I was supposed to be yesterday. And when I get home tonight, I can read the section for today. Maybe, hopefully. Yesterday, my section that I read, so much shit is happening. Okay, so my hand's sore. Okay, here it is. Wylan made up some shit so that he could go see his mom's grave. And when he gets there, it's not a grave. It's a mental institution. And his mom is alive and has been alive the whole time. Like, holy shit. And I really love how this book is written. The characters' reactions are super realistic. Like, he was basically barely holding it together. His mom kind of recognized him, but he was 8 years old when she was taken away. So I'm thinking that was at like 8 to 10 years ago. I'm not sure how old the characters are meant to be. So he sits with her and he talks with her a little bit while Jesper distracts the nurse. And then as they're leaving, the nurse is like, would you like to see some of her paintings? And she opens up this closet and there's painting, like it's filled of paintings. And a bunch of them are like Wylan when he was a little kid. And you're just like, oh, you're just like trying to hold it together as you read that part. And then they get outside and Wylan basically just sits down in the middle of the road and starts sobbing. This book, let me tell you. Then we find out the story of how Jasper's mom died, and basically she's a fucking angel. She is a selfless person. She was Grisha as well, and she went to go help some little girl who was sick, who drank some bad water from a bad well that was not meant to be drank from, and she had like poison in her system, and the mom like leached the poison out, but like wasn't careful, and it ended up going into her own self, and she freaking died. And it was sad. Like, I can't. Okay, so then after we get over all that, we don't, but we keep reading. Okay, there's the plan, and everyone has their own parts. So Kaz and Wylan are going to Van Eck's house to steal his seal, like a wax seal thing that you stamp onto letters, because they need to make a fake letter for a captain of a ship to take these Grisha out of the city. Okay, so they go to the house to steal the thing, which is in a safe, and Wylan has like this special acid that's just gonna burn through the safe, so they don't have to worry about the crazy lock on it. Then Inej and Nina are going to the silos, the sugar silos, and Inej is going to be tightrope walking across them, and Matthias, Jesper, and Kuwei are just, I think they're just waiting on the island, or maybe what they're meant to do doesn't start until later, but they were just chilling in their island cave. And all three of them, okay, like in Nej's point of view, someone is up on the silo with her and tries to push her in. And after they get and Kaz and Wylan, I'm not sure whose point of view, with Kaz and Wylan, they get the thing out of the safe, turn around, and man, I forget that guy's name. Rollins. His last name is Rollins. He's like there in the room with like a bunch of people. Like, what do you think you're doing? And and then on the island, all of a sudden they're getting shot at on the island by like a whole bunch of people. Like, what's happening? Everyone's getting attacked. Not one thing is going how it's meant to go. Like, this is not okay. And now, so I think when I stopped reading, I think Matthias and Jesper and Kuwei had escaped. I think they got to where the boats are, maybe. I think they escaped the island and they're okay. And now it's Inej's point of view, and she's fighting some bitch way up on this silo. How is someone on the like? I'm mad right now. But I need to keep reading, and I only have an hour before I need to go. So hopefully I'll update you later tonight. Yesterday I got to page 368, and y'all, I was right. I was fucking right. So Inej says at least 5 or 6 times about this whole tightrope walking over the silo thing. I don't need a net. I don't work with a net. And I said to Talia, she has said that too many times, she's gonna fall. She fucking fell. But it's okay, because apparently our girl Nina can raise the fucking dead. Alright, I mean, do what you gotta do, right? saved Inej, so that's all we're asking for. Everyone survived. Kaz just casually burned a hole in the floor and fell through the ceiling, and then they ran away and escaped, so that's good. Now they're all chilling in this hotel, where Jesper's dad was, and they're hanging out with Jesper's dad. And Kaz and Jesper had a fist fight, so that was nice. And then Jesper's all riled up after talking to his dad and fist fighting Kaz. And he goes into this room and I'm like so messed up from it. Okay, like he thinks it's Wylan. And he's like kissing him. And then Wylan comes. And he's like, what the fuck? And Kuwei just let him kiss him. He knew that Jesper thought that he was Wylan, but he didn't say anything. And then Wylan walked in on them. I can't right now. I'm mad about it. Okay. Alright. Okay. What else happened? I don't know. But Talia's falling behind too. So I don't feel so bad that I'm a bad buddy reader this time. Not keeping up. Oh yeah. They're changing the plan now because all their plans were thwarted. And they decided they're going to have an auction. And they're going to auction off Kuwei to the highest bidder. And I don't know, somehow they all get rich in the end too. And it was kind of complicated. And I don't know how they're going to do it, but I mean. Oh, Kaz called Jesper Jordy. Oh, yes. And Kaz was bandaging Inej. And he was trying so hard, but he was having flashbacks and freaking out. Oh my god, it was so pure. Okay, tonight when I update you, I'm going to read you all the quotes that I loved so that I get them right. And yeah, I'm in the middle of part 5, and there's only 6 parts, so we're getting to the nitty gritty. But you know what? I know someone dies. I know who dies. I know that Matthias dies. And I'm not ready for it. Because, him and Nina haven't even, made out yet. And it's sad. I'm already sad about it. Talia, she knows that someone dies because she told me. She said, what did she say? I really hope none of them die at the end or something. And I was like, Talia, how have you been in the book community and not got spoiled for that? And she was like, I don't know. And I was like, somebody dies. I won't tell you which one, but somebody dies. So now she's probably having anxiety about it. But okay, I'm at work, so I have to work now. But when I read more tonight, I will update the vlog. Bye-bye. Quick update. Wylan looks like himself again. Kaz got the shit beat out of him.
What are you saying?
King Nikolai, him damn self, is in Ketterdam for this auction. Also, just read this part. I'm here for her, Wylan reminded himself. I'm here for her. In the end, he was not Nina or Matthias or Kaz or Inej or Jesper. He was just Wylan Vanek. He told them everything. Wylan. It's not funny.
Why?
It's not funny.
Why?
I have finished, but I am not okay. So I need to update this vlog tomorrow. All right. So I made notes and I organized them by couple. For I know I haven't like wrapped it up from the last, like, I think I read like the last 130 pages, so like the little bit of the end of section 5 and then completely the end of section 6 all at once. So I'm not gonna give a plot summary just because I don't want to be talking for like 20 minutes. This vlog is already really long. So I'm just gonna give like my overall thoughts on like how I felt about the ending and how I felt about like each character and like their main relationship. Okay, so the first one that I made notes on was obviously Matthias and Nina. Matthias had easily the most growth as a character, like from the beginning of Six of Crows to the end of Crooked Kingdom. And it was so disappointing that it had to be him that died. Not that I really would have picked anybody else. I think everyone just wanted that happy ending where everyone lives, but I guess we couldn't have that for some reason. I don't know if I mentioned it at any point in the vlog, but I definitely was spoiled. I knew a long time ago that somebody died. And then in the last few months, I think I found out, I don't know, someone was tweeting things or, yeah, there might have been like fan accounts or like, I'm not sure. But I found out that it was Matthias. So the entire time, the whole way through the book, I knew that Matthias was the one that died, but I didn't know how he died or any specifics. Spoilers don't overly bother me. Like, Talia asked me if it still, like, how his death affected me because, even though, like, I knew about it, was I still, like, shook by it and stuff like that? And it definitely still impacted me. Obviously, like, the way it happened, like, him being killed by this little, like, what do they call them? Drookskells teenager was just, man, teenagers think they know everything, and it was just really shitty, just so shitty. And then obviously all the other characters' reactions to his death are so heart-wrenching. Like, the light, Lena sees the light leave his eyes and then she just screams, and then you're just bawling instantly. Like, you can't. And obviously too, also, like, because I knew he was going to die, every interaction that they had throughout the book, I'm like mentally screaming, like, kiss her, love her, savor every moment with her, like, fuck. And then they don't kiss until the very end when he's like half dead already. And obviously, like, I really thought that how, like, Lee Bardugo's, like, how Nina, it was just so authentic, like, everything, when we get her point of view when Matthias is dying, like, everything running through her mind, like, how she has that thought that if she never would have used the parem back in Six of Crows, then she maybe would have been able to save him. And of course you have those thoughts. And then she also tried to use her new, like, death powers or whatever and made him say her name. And then Inej was like, no, like, you have to let him go. And she knew that that was the right thing to do. But, like, oh my God. Oh, I'm still trying not to cry. Like, then, of course, when they're leaving, when some of them are leaving, they're pretending to be dead on a death boat because of the plague or whatever, the fake plague that they made. So Nina has to lay down beside Matthias, who's actually dead, and pretend that she's dead, and she has to lay next. Like, ugh, like that's rough. Like, Jesus. And then not only that, but she, of course, she's so devoted to him. She just would do anything for him. But she's going to risk her life and make sure, and I forget the name of his country, but make sure that she's going to take him and personally see to it that he is laid to rest, like, in a way that he would want. And like, that's so Nina. And I mean, if nothing else, like, you have to just respect, like, her devotion and her dedication to that man. There was a few, like, moments of them together that I just, like, noted down here. Like, there was a moment where Matthias said to her, "You look very beautiful," and she said, "You mean I look like the enemy?" And he said, "Both of those things have always been true." And then I think he took her hand and led her out of the room. They left the room together, or whatever, and I thought that was really cute. And there's also a moment where Nina tells him, makes some comment that, like, he's better than waffles, and then Matthias says, "Let's not say things we don't mean, my love." And then there's a moment, actually, it's Kaz's point of view, and he's going and he needs to, like, wake Nina up for some reason. And, like, her and Matthias are sleeping together, like, on a couch. And he has this thought in his head that, like, like, why are the two largest people in the group sleeping on, like, the smallest space possible that they could find? And I just thought it was cute that they were sleeping on the couch together, and that was adorable. And those are all the notes I made for Matthias and Nina. Obviously, super heartbroken for her, but I'm really glad that that King of Scars does exist, and I know that we see Nina a little bit in it, and so I hope I can continue reading and find out, like, what happens next for her. So then my next notes are on Inej and Kaz. So Inej, I don't know, like, I can't choose between Nina and Inej. Like, those are definitely my favorite characters, and for, like, really different reasons. But I really, like, related to Inej, and I really, like, felt for her in that her kind of plan at the end here is to stop human trafficking and stop, like, the sex slave trade. And I really loved that she tries to pull Kaz in to it with her, and she lets him know that she thinks that he could do it, that he could help, and make an end to all of that type of thing, like, in Ketterdam, like, if he wanted to. And she's totally right, he could. And yeah, like, super cute that he bought her the boat and everything. I really love, like, how self-aware she is. There was definitely, like, the whole thing with, like, her having to fight that other bitch. I don't remember her name. Started with a D, I think. And she was, like, totally aware, and she commented on it, like, a couple times about how, like, she's just trained to fight in the street, and, like, obviously this other chick has, like, I don't know, like, martial arts, or, like, professional, like, she's been fighting for years. And so Inez just like, she doesn't really know how she can beat this girl if they're face to face again. And so I love that she, like, discussed that with her friends, and that Kaz helped her figure it out, basically telling her, like, everyone has a tell, and by letting Inej know what her tell was, that can help her, because she can try to, like, consciously, like, not do that when she's fighting. and then also like just try to pay attention to the other girl to try to figure out what her tell was, which is exactly what had her win in the end. And that was awesome. I also really love like her and Inej's, or I mean, excuse me, her and Nina's friendship. And was I really love that Kaz and Nikolai, I think it was Nikolai that helped him find Inej's parents at the end. Like that was super, obviously super heartwarming. Um, but then I also love how like Inej just like values herself. There was one quote at the very end where she said, okay, here I'm just gonna flip because I tabbed it. There's two things that were like right beside each other, but okay. So she said she thinks she's not saying these things, she's just thinking them to herself, but she says, she understood suffering and she knew it was a place she could not follow, not unless she wanted to drown too. And then a couple lines down, she says, she would fight for him, but she could not heal him. She would not waste her life trying. And like on one hand, you kind of want them to get together for like the whole book, but then on the other hand, like Kaz has so many problems and that he needs, he needs to work through them. And you don't want to see someone like Inej like held back, like waiting for a man, right? And so I really loved that. And then for Kaz, I have written down, I had some thoughts that maybe now that he's carried out his revenge on Pekka, he can start to like let go of like all the hate that he's holding onto in his heart and actually grieve properly for Jordy, and then maybe start to heal. Like, just, I don't know, just throwing that out there. Like, yeah, again, I wrote, like, if he helps Inej, like, with her, just her passion to, like, end, like, the sex slave trade and human trafficking and things like that, he has so much power to create a positive change, like, in Ketterdam. Yeah, major props to him for finding Inej's parents. And I do really love that he does his best to like take care of everybody. And then, but even though he acts like he doesn't really care. And there was a really significant moment. We didn't actually get to see the moment. It was something that was like speculated on like afterwards. I think Jesper talked about it, about how Kaz kind of got pissed off with the lady who was tailoring him after he got beat up, and that it was speculated that she maybe offered to fix his leg, and then obviously like he refused. And so I thought that was really interesting, that to him, like, his limp and his pain from his leg and his need to use the cane, like that's like part of his identity, to the point where he doesn't want it fixed even though it could be fixed. Kaz is obviously like a super complex character, and he definitely has his good and his bad, but I think out of all the characters, he was my least favorite just in general. I don't know, when I sit down and really think about it, like, he does have a lot of like redeeming qualities that are like underneath like the kind of just like nonchalant, like uncaring, I do whatever I need to do like for myself kind of dick that's on the surface. But yeah, I don't know, I'm just so genuine, and I wouldn't like that, like being friends with somebody like that. I don't know. Okay, so that's Inej and Kaz, and then just want to talk about Jesper and Wylan. So Jesper had a lot of growth, I thought, like through this book. And Wylan like was a big part of like helping him like first of all, like embracing his Grisha-ness, and even considering that like it's more of a part of who he is and affects like his day to day like more than he even knows. Like how like Wyland suggests that maybe you can shoot well because you're a Grisha and maybe you're actually manipulating the bullets like and you don't even realize it. And then of course Jesper's like holy shit, and it's just like mind blowing. And then of course like the major thing that he does is making that shot around a fucking corner. Like so obviously he can manipulate the bullets, and yeah, that was so awesome. And then yeah, like him having those really important conversations with his dad, and then even at the end giving his money to Wylan and just recognizing that like he's not healthy and he's not in a place where he should have that kind of money like available to him to just fuck around with. And there was definitely like a couple of moments in the book where people actually said to him about like how he's obviously holds on to a lot of pain and stuff, and it has to do with his mom's death. And so you could see him start to like recognize that and start to kind of like deal with it rather than just like continuing on how he was. I wrote down part of the quote. I'll just pull it out. When him and Wylan kiss for the first time. Oh, I loved it. Oh my god, yes. So, it was so good. This was the kiss he'd been waiting for. It was a gunshot. It was prairie fire. It was the spin of Macker's wheel. Jesper felt the pounding of his heart, or was it Wylan's, like a stampede in his chest, and the only thought in his head was a happy, startled, oh. Oh, I love that so much. Then slowly, inevitably, they broke apart. Wylan, Jesper said, looking into the wide blue sky of his eyes, I really hope we don't die. I love it. Oh my gosh. Okay, then what I wrote about Wylan was just his mom in all capitals. That had to be like definitely like a super huge, like, oh my god, like how massive is that? Like you thought that your mom was dead for like 10 years and she wasn't actually dead. Like holy shit. Then letting himself like get beat to shit like way more than he needed to, just to kind of like prove to his dad that he is like stronger and could take more than his dad thought that he could. The whole like oh my god, at the end there, memorizing the passage, like memorizing that document so that he could prove like to the merchant council that he could read. That was so fucking awesome. And then they're taking his dad away. And I think the dad, I can't remember exactly. I think the dad like lunged at him and Jesper. I don't know what he thought he was going to do. And then Jesper whispers like, I'll read to him. And then Wylan says, he has a soothing baritone. And that just killed me. I just fucking love that. That was so good. Oh, I love that he like inherited everything, but it did make me wonder that like if Kaz did that, because Kaz switched Van Eck's will in the safe. So it makes me wonder if Kaz did that for Wylan because Wylan's his friend, or if Kaz was just so committed to getting the revenge that he wanted to make sure that like Van Eck's like nightmare came true, basically, because obviously like he got rid of Wylan's mom, he tried to have Wylan killed, and has this new wife, and she's pregnant, and so basically he'd really do anything to avoid like Wylan being his legacy. And then Kaz switches the will so Wylan inherits everything. And yeah, like I love that for Wylan. Like, that's awesome. And I love that him and Jesper just like working together. I also loved, where is it? I love how he treats Alice, how like no one has any hard feelings for Alice. Like, she's just like a sweetheart. And, you know, like he makes sure that she's taken care of and everything. Like, that was really nice. And yeah, there was like lots of cute like back and forth like bantering between like Wylan and Jesper. Um, I loved how when Wylan was getting tailored to look back like himself again, and Jesper like piped up and like told the lady to make his eyelashes longer and stuff like that. Like, that was so cute. And then right before they kissed, actually, it was like a couple pages before they kissed, Jesper asks Wylan, like, did you get her to make you better looking? And Wylan says, maybe you just forgot how handsome I am. And then Jesper was like, and Wylan was like, yeah, okay, maybe I did get her to make me a little bit better looking. Yeah, so that was super cute. Okay, that's all I have written down, but I did want to share some of the quotes that, other than the ones that I didn't share. Okay, so the first quote that I just went through and found them again, I tabbed this. This is Kaz to Inej. I would come for you, he said. And when he saw the wary look she shot him, he said it again, I would come for you. And if I couldn't walk, I'd crawl to you. And no matter how broken we were, we'd fight our way out together. Knives drawn, pistols blazing, because that's what we do. We never stop fighting. Oh, man. Like, marry someone that says that shit to you. Okay, and then Nina had a really good quote here, which actually she's quoting somebody else. It says, Nina rested her chin atop Inej's silky hair. Zoya used to say that fear is a phoenix. You can watch it burn 1,000 times and still it will return. The need for Parem felt that way too. Oh God. I didn't even mention that. Like, how, like, I'm sure that I mentioned it like before when I was vlogging, but like the fact that like how she dealt with her addiction like throughout the book, like that was so intense. But yeah, I really liked that quote. Yeah, because somebody's fear for something like never goes away, no matter how much you deal with it. Usually. Okay. Oh, this is a really good quote from Kaz. Okay, so Pekka says to him, you take things too personally, Brecker. You should be focused on the job, but you're too busy holding a grudge. That's where you're wrong, said Kaz. I don't hold a grudge. I cradle it. I coddle it. I feed it fine cuts of meat and send it to the best schools. I nurture my grudges, Rollins. I love that. That was really good. Because that is so him. That's obviously, like, that's so him. Okay, and then I read you that one after when they kissed, and then I read you Inej's ones already at the end. Yeah. Okay, so I think that's all I had to say at the end here about Crooked Kingdom. This is going to be a really long vlog. Like, if you made it this far, awesome. What I did at the end of my my last reading diary vlog thing that was dedicated to a specific book is that I watched some videos, video diaries, other people's, and then reacted to them. But this clip alone is 28 minutes long that I'm going to have to try to edit. And so I'm thinking that the vlog is going to be close to an hour already. So I'm going to skip that part. I think my thoughts on the book were pretty cohesive, especially in this end clip. So I don't think, even after watching somebody else's thoughts, no matter how much they disagreed with me, that I really would have anything more to add to what I've already said. So thank you for watching. Let me know who your favorite character is, and if you have any other quotes that I missed that you really enjoyed, Yeah, just talk to me about Crooked Kingdom in the comments. This is going to be like definitely a new all-time favorite book. I really loved it. Yeah, my Twitter and my Goodreads are in the description, and I'll see you next time. Bye.